Hey, what's up? I'm WHALEBOY. The purpose of what I'm trying to do on this channel is to make content not just about visual art, but creative work in general, and to bring attention to the things I think you might find interesting. I'm a naturally curious person, so a lot of the time I have questions that gnaw at my brain while I'm watching a video or learning. And if that question is so good that I feel the need to make a video around it for you, I most certainly will. If I find answers lacking and enough intrigue to base a whole video around, I'll turn my findings into a short. I also plan to stream my personal artistic journey on this channel and take my skills from level 1 slime to level 100 boss. Whether or not that will happen is anyone's guess, but I'm gonna try my absolute best. As it stands, I have zero skill. I never took an art class and I've only painted a couple of times in recent memory. I used to doodle and draw a lot when I was in elementary school, so much so that I would neglect whatever assignment I had in order to appease my then developing ADHD. But recently I've been really inspired by watching art channels and thinking I could probably do that, which is what a lot of people say when looking at art, especially expressionist art, and then they try it and can't figure out why their attempt at it sucks. I'm going to come at this with as little ego as possible and keep an open mind to any advice and information that would be helpful to me on this project. I have a long road ahead of me, but I also have the determination to match. I think I owe it to the creative side of me to take this chance. So in a way, maybe I'm trying to reconnect with a part of me that was lost to the passage of time as a form of self-therapy. Maybe I'm trying to spiritually connect with something higher through the means of a creative outlet and by chasing mastery. Maybe it is a desperate scream from the soul of a millennial who has no employment prospects or future, reaching out frantically to find a sense of meaning in a world that doesn't care about or notice an individual's existence. Anyway, here's what you can expect from my channel going forward. I want this channel to be led by my curiosity because I see that as my number one strength. When I take an interest in something, it becomes somewhat of an obsession. I like to take it apart and view it from multiple angles to see what really makes it work. So I'll take you along on my journeys of artistic research and exploration. I hope to give anyone who watches my channel a totally new way of looking at things that most people might find mundane. You will see me challenge what everyone accepts as a commonly held truth. You will have your mind blown by some of the stories I present later on in the year. And with my streams, I hope to inspire people to go on their own artistic journey after they see the progress of mine. Also, just for the record, I'm not a really political person. I try to stay away from all that because I think politics has just about invaded all aspects of everyday life, and it's so draining to me personally. I want my channel to be as non-political as possible and a place to find shelter from the daily despair that is a 24-hour news cycle. So you won't really see me offer much commentary on current events or elections and stuff like that outside of offhand comments. And I don't want this to seem like I have no political views at all. I do, but they're just so all over the place that I would basically upset everybody on either side of the political spectrum. Not that it's important, but I guess I'll explain my views very briefly and this one time only because I know people will be curious. The only thing I really feel strongly about is individual rights. I believe everybody should have the freedom to do whatever they want as long as they're not harming or making life hard for others. Personally, I like following the golden rule philosophy. Every religion has it in some form or another. I know it's not a perfect ideology, but it's the best way I can put my views into words. So naturally, I'm going to be against any rhetoric that calls for the removal of people's individual freedoms. I consider myself an anti-radicalist and reject any form of radicalism from the left or right. Of course, people have different ideas on what counts as radical, but I've already talked about politics far too long on a video that has nothing to do with that. The channel goals are simple. I want to bust out of my mom's house, man. I'm in my late 20s, I'm like a rotten apple that the parent tree can't get off the branch, and it's not like I'm not taking any personal responsibility for my situation. I am literally the only thing holding myself back. But you know, this is my channel and I still want to complain. All this is to say, I'm planning on sustaining myself with my art and showing other artists that it's possible to follow your creativity and harness it to make your living. The myth of the starving artist is something that's not the default anymore, and now anyone can have an audience of people willing to support you. If artists in ages past were able to make a living out of it with no modern methods of communication or marketing, then it should be 100 times easier to do it in the modern era with all the technology and the conveniences of the internet age. I want my channel to be something that people can look at to get an idea of what's possible when you start the artistic journey and commit to consistent improvement. After all, what's the point of gathering tons of knowledge and skill if you have no one to share it with? I totally understand if you found this video presumptuous. After all, it's my first video and I'm talking about all these grand lofty goals and abstract ideas, but it's my belief that you have to share your goals out loud in order to hold yourself accountable. I made this video my first video, so it's always there to show any future fans what I wanted for this channel when I created it. Maybe my goals will change, but I highly doubt it would veer too far from what they are now. After all, I'm not a 15-year-old starting a Minecraft channel not realizing that it might not be what I'm always gonna want to do for my career. No offense to the 15-year-olds on that grind. I'm old enough to know myself and what I'd be happy doing, and walking down this path just feels right. I hope to use this channel to serve you well into the future. Thanks for watching. Have you seen my latest video? Click here and check it out if you're down.